Give me near. What are your thoughts on the new Cole album, bro?
I'm not gonna
Like,
lie, bro. I haven't heard it, bro.
no, that's fair.
I heard Poor Things. That's the only song I heard in its entirety.
Oh, was that a song? When you said I heard poor things, I thought you meant about the album.
Yeah, that's the only song I heard. The one where he's like dissing that random ass motherfucker from Fayetteville, bro, that nobody ever heard of in their life, bro. 5 years after the fact.
Too much of the track was to conceptualize what you're talking about.
Cause like I heard that he was dissing someone. I'm like, oh shit, he's dissing someone, and then like I come to find out he's dissing like some local rapper from Fayetteville that dissed him like 5 years ago on like a random ass track, and this guy's like less than 10K views on YouTube. I'm like, bro, what? This the guy you replied to? Motherfuckers like fucking everybody in the industry dissed you like over the last year that had any bars to say. You got dissed by Joey Badass, you got dissed by Freddie Gibbs, just as like tangentially like, yo, I'd never fall off, I'd never fucking delete a diss track type bars, bro.
Bro, last thing I want to hear about J. Cole is like talking about other people at this point, like in a negative sense.
Yeah, I mean, bro, this guy said like, he's gonna be his reasonable drought, bro. Like,
I'm sorry?
He said his fall off was gonna be like his reasonable drought, like reasonable doubt, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like first of all, how are you gonna compare your last album to Jay-Z's like first album? Second of all, like
who's comparing it to Reasonable Doubt?
He said the fall off is gonna be like my reasonable doubt. He said it on a song.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, on like off season or some shit.
Dude,
and I'm like, bro, what? Like, first of all, it's like a crazy comparison to even like put your level up, like even put the bar up to. And then second of all, bro, like why are you trying to be like another rapper? Just be yourself, bro.
I'm with that, bro. He should have went all into just nice guy, you know? Like he didn't. I think he should have like really doubled down on being conscious rapper.
It also was a double disc too. Like isn't that like a lot of songs? Like I don't like not many rappers can make a double disc work.
J. Cole is he's of the caliber.
He's of the caliber, but like he just I don't think I don't think his like perception, like his mind state is in like a double disc mode. If you're dissing like not even the diss part, but like yo, if you're just like rapping about like the same shit you always rap about.
No, I think he had like, okay, you haven't heard the album yet, but like he does get into other topics I haven't talked about.
But is it worth a double disc? That's my question. Like, I'm sure you can rap about new things, but is it worth a double disc album?
I think for a timer album it makes sense.
Cause like if you think about like good albums, like you know how many tracks is Reasonable Doubt?
I never listened in one go, you know, like listen.
Okay, that's fair.
Once like Punisher is all through.
Yeah, no problem. I'm so locked out of my game right now. I'm not gonna lie. Somehow you started winning though.
W heals.
I haven't upgraded in the whole game, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm trolling.
Alright, we got the point. Listen. Yeah, listen to each half individually. I think second half a lot more.
How many songs is it? It's 24 songs, right?
It's like 9 each.
Oh, it's 90. Okay, so
24?
8, I don't know. It was like 10.
I don't think
it's more. Is it 20 or is it less than 20?
I think it's around 20.
Oh, I just wasted my
It's like around 10.
I think a lot of the thing is like it's also been like it's been announced for like basically like 8 years, you know, so it's like expectations and stuff.
Yeah. I think it's a good retirement album. Like it's worth listening to.
Is he actually is he actually retiring though? That's also like another thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, like. Because I listened to his like birthday EP that he dropped like a week before, and like.
He dropped a birthday EP?
It was like you had to buy like all the songs. There was like.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah. But that was the more like.
My Thor is 3 and 3, bro. Lock the fuck in.
Yeah, that birthday EP, that was more like he was just like rapping over other people's beats, but he was rapping in. I know, but he was also rapping in more like addressing more current things, and like, you know, You know, like Port Antonio or whatever, when he's like just like kind of like, yo, I wouldn't have like lost the beef, I would have lost the bro type shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like more of that. It's like, yo, I didn't want a battle, but I would have won the battle. It's like, I'm nice, but it's like, do we need to hear this 2 years after the fact? Like,
yeah.
And then he's rapping it over like classic like hip hop beats, like freaking. I don't need to hear you over this, bro. But like, I mean, J. Cole can rap. Like, I'll never deny that.
Bro, on the second
you know?
half, bro, there's no originality, bro. He's like 3 straight songs. I think he copies a hook from a rap song, like a classic rap song.
Yeah.
Like he's just straight up like.
Yeah, like he did the in the perspective of Pac and Biggie shit too. I heard that.
I didn't mind that song.
But like in terms of like originality, it's like.
Originality? Yeah. I was telling Ange, I'm like, bro, it's a good J. Cole album. Like, it's not in the realm of hip hop. It is what it is, but it's all the J. Cole has are very much in existence. Cole does not have any originality.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll never say J. Cole can't rap, but it's also like J. Cole a lot of times says like, at me as like a rapper, J. Cole says a lot of things I wouldn't say as a rapper because it seems too easy.
In what sense?
Like either that's like an easy punchline or it's like a generic punchline or like just like a generic thing to say.
Yeah, I got you.
Like there's no like elevated creativity about it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Like,
there's like another layer that you can get, which he probably could, but he doesn't.
He does sometimes, but it's just a lot of the times it kind of like falls flat. Is like, yo, really anybody could have said this. Like it wouldn't have meant anything different if like some other rapper had said this exact same thing, you know?
Yep.
It's even that's why like I have to give points to Drake because like a lot of Drake songs like he says things that only really apply to him. And like a lot of that is because of the unique position he's in, but also a lot of that is because of just like the person he is.
Yeah, fucking 40-year-old womanizer. Yeah,
like 40-year-old, no like real relationship in your whole career. Like even like other artists have like, you know, had relationships here and there that they can talk about. Especially like a man like Future, who's like, you know, used to be like one of Drake's biggest collaborators. Like just had like fucking random women he'd always be talking about. When Drake name drops people, it's either like other celebrities or it's like some random people you never heard about in your life, bro. Oh man, join the lobby.
I'm always left wanting, bro.
What do you mean?
It's also part of why I really felt like he should have went all into the. Oh fuck! I missed my ult. Yo, get me Warlock, bro. Being on the other side of a Warlock is so. Yeah, sorry, what I was saying. Yeah, I felt like he should have really just went all into being the nice guy, you know, like conscious rapper, being the guy who tries to get people together.
J. Cole?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, like a humble rapper, you know, like that's his image.
Yeah. I always felt inauthentic, bro. Like, how you gonna pretend to diss these guys?
I was gonna say the J. Cole hate.
Not hate.
It's not hate. It's just like disappointment, bro. I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. I would call it hate. Like, there's definitely times where we're right now where it's like just discussing his shortcomings.
Because like I know J. Cole can be better as like a artist. Like he's a good artist in terms of like he can make good songs, but as in terms of a rapper, in terms of like pushing the genre forward, it's like
100%, bro.
You really don't do a lot.
He might be like Alonzo Ball type shit, you know?
Who has equivalent impact to J. Cole on rap?
In rap, equivalent impact. Yo, J. Cole might have no impact.
I mean, J. Cole has impact in just in the fact that he impacted other people's like perception. Just in terms of like the big three is like a good impact.
I'll say X had more impact on rap than J. Cole.
I would agree.
I would
agree
also
here.
agree.
I think J. Cole, the person, has a lot of impact.
No,
Like,
I think no.
has,
J.
like,
Cole,
the idea.
J. Cole, the idea has impact. J. Cole, the person, does not.
What does that mean?
The person.
J. Cole, no, Emmett. J. Cole is potential, man, in terms of rap.
I think, yeah, as a rapper, I don't think he's influenced anything. His music has not influenced anything.
Just
But,
as it, just as a spot in the rap game, it has influenced things, but his actual rapping has not.
Yeah. But yo, I want to give him credit for Dreamville too. Dreamville's like he
Yeah.
definitely influenced a lot with that.
Yeah.
He did a great job with that.
But that's not J. Cole as a rapper. That's J. Cole as like a A&R, bro, or like a businessman, or like
Yeah.
something.
No, I count that as impact on rap.
But not as him
Exactly,
rap,
but it's
not because of his rapping ability.
I feel like you could remove his entire catalog and hip hop be the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Okay, like the way that I think about rap a lot, like
can't do conscious as good as
the way that I've talked to
Kendrick.
Tanish about like the way that I view rap is like if you were to tell the story of rap, there's a lot of people who are getting full chapters. Some people are getting like sections made for them like in other people's chapters, and some people are footnotes. J. Cole will get a section in other people's chapters, but in terms of his own chapter, there's really not that much to say.
Good point. He's the third guy in the supposed big three. You know, like,
Yeah,
Drake has his
he's
own
always third
His
place
own
in
thing.
every metric. He's like
Yeah.
third place, right? So it's like
Yeah. It's like he didn't even make the final, conference final.
yeah, he didn't make the he's like
Dog, my Thor is 6 and
still
9.
above
my
Amit.
boy.
I mean, yo, bro, but Amit's like he's not, if we're comparing J. Cole to Amit, that's like a different comparison, Sabo.
Who's okay? Sabo's in chat. Okay, now. I was like, why are we talking about?
He just said still above Amit. I'm like, yeah, I mean, J. Cole's above a lot of people. He's like above average as a rapper. Like, let's not get it twisted. He's above average as an rapper, but like,
He's well above average as a rapper.
but if we're like or if we're like multiplying it with impact, like the way that I see it is like there's best, and then if you multiply best by impact, then you get greatest. Then you're in the greatest conversation. J. Cole's good, but he doesn't have that much impact, so his factor in the greatest conversation is like minimal,
Zero impact, bro. Anything comes
Who has more impact than Jake? Sorry, who's a better lyricist?
better
like who-
Like who's a better in terms of
Like-
general lyricism?
Just
Like,
rapper. Honestly, no, just rapping.
I mean, it also that depends on what metric you're grading on, like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the metric I'm trying to.
Like I say,
talk
like
about.
Pusha T is a better rapper, Sci-Hi is a better rapper.
Pusha T is a better rapper.
I say Freddie Gibbs is a better rapper, or at least in terms of what they're more interesting
Pusha
as
T has
people.
a unique style.
They're more interesting
Pusha T
as
has like his own style.
like
Yeah,
he's
I'm with that.
okay. He's a larper though, like faking being poor. Yeah, he's also faking. He has a Lambo truck, bro. J. Cole got a Lambo truck and he's riding a bike, bro. Why? Why does J. Cole have a Lambo truck, bro? And he's riding a bike, bro. Pick one, bro. But yeah, a lot of rapping to me is also like, how are you gonna differentiate yourself from other rappers? And a lot of that is just like, how do you characterize yourself? And also
Big
tell
Sean
you,
is a
and
better
also
rapper
just like
than J.
tell.
Cole.
Big Sean is a better rapper than J. Cole.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro.
Let me hate him.
I mean, it's closer than I would like to admit. Because Big Sean definitely got way better post like 2015. And I think J. Cole low-key got worse. Huh?
What did Big Sean drop post 2015?
Dark Sky
Detroit
Paradise. I Decided.
Oh, Dark Side Paradise was after? That's crazy.
I think it was in 2015.
Okay.
So yeah, I Decided, the fucking Metro Boomin collab album.
Oh, I decided it was sick.
J. Cole peaked over a decade ago.
I mean, most people would say J. Cole's best album was 2014 Forest Still Drives, right? Or Born Sinner.
Over a decade ago.
It's nothing from his later things. Like that's like the point I'm trying to say,
1000%. I think Fall Off is his best album since then.
Since
Comfortably since Forest Hills.
it's Forest Hills, okay. Yeah, so in 12
It's
years.
not saying much.
So in 12 years, yeah.
KOD was like the pointless out project maybe ever.
World on drugs better.
Where he raps about coming in his pants? Yeah, exactly. Hashtag okay. Yeah, wet dream. I fucking hate that song. The beat is fire, but I hate that song.
You don't fuck with wet dreams?
No, bro. Like, there's a lot of ways to, you know. Yeah, it's not it, bro. Also, fuck Uncle Phil. I don't know about that one, bro.
You said fuck Uncle Phil, bro?
I'm reading my chat, bro.
Is this Sabo in there saying controversial shit?
Didn't teach us anything.
What does Sabo have against
He said he
James
didn't
Avery,
didn't
bro?
teach us anything, bro. Uncle Phil didn't teach us anything.
It's cause Sabo has a loving.
Sabo, you got a loving father, bro. Unlike Jake Paul. Okay, now what are we talking about, bro? Jake Paul taught you things,
Oh,
bro.
no. Oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah, I mean Uncle Phil versus Jake Paul, bro.
That's a conversation that I'm gonna have.
Yo, how many people do you think have met both of them?
Jake Paul and Jake Avery.
And Uncle Phil?
Has Will Smith Jake Paul at some point, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Was Jake Paul in that YouTube rewind that nobody fucks with?
I don't know.
The one where Will Smith says his rewind time?
Yeah. Jake Cole never fought Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua.
Could J. Cole fight Anthony Joshua? No, J. Cole would get fucking that dog.
I mean, J Cole's like 6'5", right? Is J Cole 6'4"?
J. Cole's not 6'5".
He's tall though.
he's not that.
He's above 6
J.
though
Cole's
for
6'4".
sure.
J. Cole's like.
6'4"? I thought he was like 6'4".
No, he was a varsity hooper, bro.
He thought he, bro.
He was hooping in Africa, bro.
Bro, I thought
Yeah, he wasn't hooping well, but he.
But he was hooping. I'm saying he was hooping, bro.
A big dude. Shit. Yeah, J. Cole might be able to take Anthony Joshua. No, he can still get fucked up, but like.
Yeah, obviously he get fucked up because that's a professional, bro. He played ball in Scarborough. Lol, he's tall. Yeah. He played ball, but like. He's also 41 years old. How old is Anthony Joshua right now, bro?
Who's Anthony Joshua?
The last guy.
Yeah, no,
Last
Anthony
boxer.
Joshua would murder him.
Anthony Joshua's 36.
Yeah, no, it's over.
He's 6'6".
Send J. Cole back to 2014.
Yo, maybe he'll do us a favor, bro. What do you mean? Yeah, he was playing in Scarborough,
Yo, you
bro.
fucking trash bags, bro. Delete the game. Holy fuck, bro.
Brother, join the lobby.
He's in the game. He's in a comp game. It's 18 minutes in.
Holy shit, you guys are.
Doug, my door. Oh no, he switched
Oh,
off.
I can't
finally.
even
But yo,
spectate you, bro. Yo, how many games did J. Cole actually like suit up for, bro?
I don't know. But for the Scarborough shooting stars, I think he suited up like max.
You think Drake got him that deal, bro? That 3-day contract?
Why do you assume Drake has that type of.
Cause he just it's in Scarborough, so like I'd assume at least like a fucking American team would have got him first, right? This is J. Cole, at least like fucking some local North Carolina like G1, not even G1, but like ass team.
Yeah, that is a good question. Why did he come to Scarborough?
Well, he's out making the NBA, and Canada has an amateur league.
Last season he played for the Rwanda Patriots, bro.
Yeah. Same thing, bro. He went to Africa.
Yeah. Okay. How many?
Played like
Okay.
shit, and then
Not Arjun. Don't answer this question. Everybody else? How many points do you think J. Cole averaged?
I don't know.
Like,
Eight.
is it even above 1? I'll say like 2 or 3.
He played. Okay. He played 15 minutes a game.
Oh, never mind. I'm going like 0.7, bro.
Okay, Justin, what do you think?
3 points.
3
oh,
points.
Justin's here.
Okay, he averaged 1.7 points and 1.7 rebounds per 15 minutes per game.
I was close. I think Justin's technically closer. Actually, no, I'm
Wait,
closer.
wait. Say the stats again. What was it?
1.7 rebounds and 1.7 points
Let's go.
in a little over 15 minutes per game.
He's not that good of a hooper, bro.
I mean, maybe maybe back in the 20 years ago he might have been, but now he's like.
No, I don't. I don't know, because he had like professional NBA trainers at his disposal, and he was legitimately training like every day.
like recently though, right?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah.
And he was in his 30s or something, like
I mean, that's
would assume, like, sure, he was probably like physically like more agile, but you know, with bro, if you have NBA trainers, like, that's got to be a peak.
yeah. I mean, you should at least be able to shoot, right? Like, if you got lethal shooter or some shit, bro, you should at least like learn some fucking shooting form or something, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, at least he got to live out his dream for a little, his dreamville dreams for a little bit, bro. In Africa.
Yeah, no, I respect that.
I will dare the very gates of hell to save Asgard.
Like, I'm sure J. Cole in like a NBA like all-star celebrity match would go
30
crazy.
seconds before you attack. Get
He's played.
ready.
He's dunked.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, also it's like he's also post 40, so how much can you really expect from the man? On ball, in rapping, I expect more, to be honest.
Rapping has.
You have 41 years to live, bro. You should be like,
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3,
Man.
2.
you should have more to say.
All you need to do is capture the mission
But I'm
area.
looking back,
Got
like,
it?
I look back at J. Cole's career and it's such a disappointment, bro. Which is crazy because he's very well accomplished.
J. Cole has hype moments, but
Yeah.
overall, like, it doesn't amount to a lot.
I'm trying to think of a good NBA comparison, bro.
Why did I pick Thor? What am I doing?
Yo, what
Oh,
the-
Gay Mensa's in the chat, bro. I know.
He's been here, bro. I told you he was on the phone with his girl.
Yeah, I'm capping point.